He is tracking the wintry weather and, of course, the winds expected there in Southern California in the days ahead. Let's start with those winds out west.
Let's start with the fire stuff because we've still got a whole lot of folks under this critical risk. We did see kind of a lull in the winds here as we went into the weekend, but of course we're going to see those ramp back up. Here's the main 5 fires that we're watching. Look at where those current wind gusts currently stand. 10, 15, 20 miles per hour. But look what happens by the time we get into the second half of the day. Elevated locations, the hills, the mountains, that's where we'll see them kind of ramp up. 40, 50 mile per hour winds will be possible. And this is kind of the best that it's going to get as we head into really the week where we start to see those winds increase. We've got another high pressure that works into the Great Basin area. How these Santa Ana winds work, basically, you're going to see these really warm, dry winds, strong winds coming off the desert. That means we're not adding any moisture with, say, onshore winds where you get the winds coming off the water. That helps with humidity levels. Instead, it's the opposite. We see humidity levels 5 to 15% as we get into Tuesday. Those winds ramping up across this region to 40, even 70 miles per hour. So again, the red flag warnings will go back up. We'll see that critical fire weather lasting for folks there. Meanwhile, the winter storm is winding down. As you heard Kathy say, we've got some leftover snow across parts of the Appalachians, guys, at this hour.
All right, Angie, thank you very much.
All right. Also turn it back over to Angie for a rest of the look at the forecast.
Let's do it, guys. We've got a couple of good spots across the country. It's not all bad news. We've got plenty of sunshine expected in the middle of the country. If you live in the plains, temperatures will be a little chilly, yes, but plenty of sunshine. Lots of blue skies there. That goes for parts of the southeast, too. The only areas we're going to see a little bit of snow, parts of the interior, parts of New England, you'll see a little bit of that stretched across parts of the Rockies, and it remains mild and dry across the southwest through the day today. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we'll have a light kind of snow fall across parts of the Great Lakes as a clipper system works its way across this region. I think just the lake effect snow will be quite impressive. Otherwise, not too impactful for travel. And then we really keep that sunshine going across the East Coast. It's going to be chilly with temperatures into the 30s, maybe into the 20s, and in the northern plains, single digits for some folks. Out west, we'll keep things mild, but those winds, of course, will start to ramp up for folks across the southwest. We'll see a couple of snow showers draped across the Rockies. Let's look at the weather across the country. Let's see what's happening in your neighborhood. And that's a look at your forecast, guys.
Angie Lassman, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, still to come here, it is a big football weekend with the college national championship pairing all set and the NFL's wild card.
The weekend with the Lions enjoying a bye. You got no football to watch. You're the number one seed.
I'm happy about that. I don't need as much stress in my life this weekend, you know? Like just a little bit of relaxation before we get, hopefully, to the Super Bowl.
All right, we'll
That's
be watching.
what I'm looking for the Lions. All right, let's talk about the chilly temperatures that our friends in Tampa Bay have been dealing with. We've had really cold air kind of make its way all the way south across parts of the southeast, even Florida, seeing those below normal temperatures, and that stands today as well. Notice Atlanta, a high of just 36 degrees. Yes, we dealt with the wintry weather here in the past 24 hours in that region. That's going to quiet down, but you're still left with these cool kind of conditions across much of this region. New York tops out at 36 degrees. We've got the mid to upper 30s across parts of the plains. And then Chicago, your high today, 29 degrees. More of the same kind of for tomorrow. We'll slowly moderate out and get closer to where we should be in some places like Cincinnati into the mid 30s. But here comes another shot of bitter cold air, especially for the plains. We've got single digits for Duluth as we kick off our upcoming work week, and teens in Chicago for Monday and Tuesday. Let's look at the weather across the country. Let's see what's happening in your neighborhood.
We are back with your pop start. What you got, Joe?
Here we go. First, ask me, but is he going to do that live?
I need him to rap. That's one of my favorite sketches. The Babyface dude that he did last year with Marcello. It's so good.
I just love when Adam Sandler says, Chalamet.
Chalamet. Exactly. So maybe they'll bring him on to do that.
Oh, that would be good.
Sandler already made a cameo this year, so you never know. There you go. All right. So looking forward to that. 26 seasons. That's more than a quarter century of that show.
They still come up with new ones.
Exactly.
I want to know who the stunning girl was in that room that didn't get the part.
Where is she now? She's not doing 26 seasons of Law and Order, I'll tell you that.
Exactly. She's like, still to come, our Saturday morning boost. And the best
now who's tracking that winter weather and also these stubborn winds that just won't go away in California.
Yeah, it's going to be a roller coaster ride with those winds out west, guys. The winter storm is kind of wrapping up. We'll get to that in a moment, but let's first look at California. We've got still that critical risk across much of that region of Southern California. Multiple fires, of course, still burning. Notice where those fires are, and then let's look at exactly where our winds currently stand. We've had a bit of a lull. Even as we went into last night and into early this morning, we'll keep those kind of tampered down, but they ramp back up as we get into the second half of the day. will go 30, 40, maybe 50 miles per hour in some spots, especially the higher up you get in the elevations, the hills, the mountains. Those are the areas that you'll see those increased winds as we get into the later parts of today. Now, we've got another kind of Santa Ana wind event likely setting up because we've got a high pressure that's going to arrive here later today in parts of the Pacific Northwest. That slides into the Great Basin area, and we essentially have the same kind of setup that we had early into last week that left us with those really dry winds coming offshore over those desert areas and leaving us with reduced humidity levels, 5 to 15% in some of these spots, and of course those wind gusts 40 to 70 miles per hour. And this is going to be something that we'll see specifically into Tuesday. You can see kind of the setup where that brighter pink is. Those are 50+ mile per hour winds. So the critical fire weather going to still be with us as we head into the beginning of next week, unfortunately. Now, as far as our winter storm is concerned, we really saw most of that damage yesterday and the day before that. It's going to start to wrap up today. We've got a little bit of this snow kind of draped across parts of the Northeast. That's going to be out of here. We'll see some of that left over across parts of the Appalachians. And then we have this next storm system that's going to be a quick clipper system kind of moving into parts of the Great Lakes. So you see a couple of winter alerts still up, 12 million people across that region. Just lake effect snow amounts are going to be the highest totals, guys, as we go through the next couple of days on those downwind sides of the lake. Back over to you.
All right, Angie, thank you.
Some tough.
Angie's keeping an eye on that. What are we seeing?
Hi there, guys. We've got some good news in a couple spots across the country when it comes to sky conditions. We, of course, had that massive winter storm that worked across the country that left a lot of folks, especially across the south, dealing with some snow, some ice, some rain. It's all gone for the most part across that region. Notice all of that sunshine and temperatures kind of hanging out into the 40s and 50s across parts of the southern plains and the southeast. So still on the cool side for folks there. Across the Great Lakes, 20s, 30s, it'll be a little chilly. We do still have a little bit of snow that we're going to track across interior areas of New England and as well as across parts of the Rockies. Out west, it's mild, it's dry. We've got a little bit of a break from those winds across Southern California today before they ramp up as we get into our next week. By tomorrow, that light snow from a clipper system works across the Great Lakes, so you'll notice that especially downwind of the lakes. And then the East Coast, plenty of sunshine to go around. Temperatures still on the low end for this time of year. That's a look at the weather across the country. Let's see what's happening in your neighborhood. And that is a look at your forecast, guys.
Angie, we appreciate you. Still to come right here, how one man with a passion for wood.
Back on a Saturday morning with a look at an artist who's making something new out of other people's garbage.
He is doing it all without any traditional art supplies and becoming a social media sensation along the way.
NBC's Maggie Vespa has the story.
You all brought your chainsaws.
Is that our next competition?
My fingers.
Good on Ike bringing dumpster diving sexy back. We're going to be right back. So that's going to do it for us on a Saturday morning. But before we go, a little bit of a programming note for you.
Lester.
Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend, everyone.